Hi to you all. My name's Laura and I'm a coach. I run a business that's called Space Within. And the work that we do in this organisation and the work that I do personally is supporting individuals in organisations to bring their real selves to work. We do this in a variety of ways, through coaching, through team coaching and team development, and through mindful oriented practices. And I'm recording these videos regularly. So for some of you, this isn't new news. You're watching along regularly. For some of you, you'll be new to this with me. So yeah, these little videos are just a couple of minutes long, a few minutes long, always less than 5, I think, apart from one a few weeks ago. And they're just little ways to help you connect with all of the things that you've got going on within you and around you that can support you in feeling more like you, in feeling more human, in feeling more real, and being able to bring that to everything you do, both at work and at home. Today I want to talk to you about something really, really simple, really, really important, and in my experience, personally and with others, really, really undervalued, underused and underrated. And that's the breath. So I notice even as I'm speaking, though I'm about to talk to you about breath and how important it is to connect properly with your breath and how you can use your breath as a tool to support you in all aspects of your life. I feel a little bit breathless, which is fascinating. So I'm still learning this stuff too, even though I teach it, and we all are. And that's a great place to be, because when we're learning more, we have more opportunity to find more stuff out. For me personally, that's really exciting. So the breath. This is something that if you work with me or you watch these videos, you will have heard me speak to before. I've spoken in the past about the fact that fear is simply excitement without the breath. I've invited you over the videos that I've done at times to tune into your breath and to understand more about where it is in your body so that it can tell you a bit more about what's going on for you and about how you are in any given moment. But in this video and over the next few days, I want to go back to basics with some work on breath and offer it to you in the hope that it can help you sort of open your perspective a little bit more to the potential that connecting with your breath has for you. So this is going to be video 1 of a few, I think probably 4 videos. Today I want to talk to you about the very basic components of breath, just very simply. And then in videos that follow, I want to draw your attention to several breath techniques that have supported me in my own practice and really helped me in the day-to-day to feel more like me and to feel more connected to what's going on. So the way we breathe as humans, when we're born, if you think about a newborn baby or any children that you know, what you'll see is that we breathe into our bellies. So we breathe naturally, we breathe deeply, and our belly rises and falls. This is the most natural way that we as humans, as animals, actually breathe. It's called diaphragmatic breathing. The diaphragm is a muscle in the body. Its sole purpose is to support the flow of oxygen, the flow of breath around the body, the movement of carbon dioxide out. So it exists to allow us to move the breath through our system. And yet by the time we reach later childhood and certainly early adulthood and certainly my age, most of us have forgotten how to breathe properly. Most of us have forgotten how to breathe through our bellies, how to do this diaphragmatic breathing, this thing that we are born knowing how to do. What we tend to do is, and you will probably recognise this, and I do it myself, we breathe really shallow and we breathe into our chest. So all over what I see is people's chests rising and falling as they breathe. You may notice this in yourself. If you're watching, you might want to put your hand on your chest and just notice how that's moving as you take your breath in and out. It will fall as you exhale and rise as you inhale. And the basic component for good breath is to breathe into the belly, to breathe into the diaphragm. Now, for some reason, as grown-ups, we've forgotten how to do this. I think a number of reasons in my personal experience, things that happen to us in life, mini traumas, bigger traumas, things that cause us to sort of hold our breath, things that cause us to want to go more quickly. Also, from my perspective, I think, we believe for some bizarre reason that it's socially less acceptable to breathe through our bellies and to allow our belly to rise and fall and blow out in the way that it's naturally meant to do. So we sort of train our breath to come inwards, and we train our breath to only come into the top part of our body and to stay in our chest. And there are lots of consequences to this. You know, the physiology of our body, the biochemistry of our body gets really disrupted when we aren't able to take oxygen into the fullness of our system. So our bodies end up more stressed, they end up more wired, more nervy, more ready for action, less able to calm down. At a musculoskeletal level, what happens to our frame is that when we are breathing into our chest, we have to use our shoulders and our shoulder muscles and our upper back muscles to propel our breath, because we're not using the diaphragm, whose job it is to do that. And so we often end up with very hunched posture, you know, stiff necks, sore backs, that kind of thing. I'm sure you'll recognise this. So for a number of reasons, it's really useful for us to breathe into our belly and to practice diaphragmatic breathing, not least because that's what we're born most naturally knowing how to do. It's an innate movement for us. And anything that comes away from that is simply a forgetting of what's most natural. So I invite you to practice that. You can put your hand on your belly. That's a really good way to start. And what you should feel as you're inhaling is that your belly will expand. It will like puff out, kind of like a Buddha belly. And as you exhale, it will fall back in. And if you want to put your other hand on your chest at the same time, when you're belly breathing, you should feel that your chest will barely rise and fall. It will barely move because the breath is going straight down into that lower part of your system. It puts more oxygen into your body. It helps you dispel carbon dioxide from your body. And it's generally what we're born being able to do and what we're meant to do to keep us at our most healthy, rested but ready state. It won't necessarily feel easy. So something I notice when I teach people this is that it can feel a little bit tough in the beginning, and that is because the diaphragm is a muscle and it's an underutilized muscle and it's weak. So it doesn't always feel amazingly natural to do this in the beginning. But the more you practice this, the better your breath will become, the stronger it will be. If you're an athlete or you do any sport or you train in the gym, this will really benefit you. If you're somebody who finds bits of life and work stressful, or you find yourself kind of feeling harassed and rushing from place to place, I think that's probably pretty much everyone who's watching this, then it will support you with that. If you find yourself being triggered by people in your life, family, friends, people on the tube, you know, when you're commuting, anything in the supermarket, then it will support you. So that's kind of all of us. Belly breath is good for all of us. So just once again, it's breathing and taking your breath all the way down into your belly. When you inhale, you should feel your belly rise, and when you exhale, you will feel your belly fall, and your chest will rise and fall as the breath ripples through, but it won't. Your shoulders shouldn't be heaving. They shouldn't be having to do the work. They should simply be allowing the breath to pass through your body. So that's the basis for all kind of good breath. It's a muscle, you have to practice it. It won't necessarily feel easy, but it's perfectly natural and it's extremely good for you. So I invite you to give it a go. What I'm going to do over the next few videos, as I said at the beginning, is build on this basis of diaphragmatic breathing to give you some techniques, some specific techniques that you can use in particular situations that are very proven breath techniques to help your physical body in particular, but in doing that, absolutely help both your emotional and your mental state. And I'll do those over the following few days. But for now, I'll leave you with belly breathing or diaphragmatic breathing. If you've got a few minutes now, you can sit on the floor, sit at your desk, or maybe do it on the journey home or in bed tonight. Give it a try, see what you notice. Don't force it, but remember you have to practice to get strong at this stuff again. And it's a really natural and beautiful thing to be able to do. Your life will thank you for it. So on that note, I'm going to go. I think I started this video, if I remember, by saying they're always less than 5 minutes, and here we are at 10. But it feels, from my perspective, like a really worthwhile thing to be sharing from you. So if you've watched all the way through, then I thank you. Breathe easily, and do look out for the videos that follow over the coming days, which are going to speak specifically to some breath techniques that can support you in particular life situations. I look forward to speaking to you then, and I'll talk to you soon. Take care for now. Bye.